Good afternoon, friends. This is your friend, Johnny Watkins Sr., and I am coming to you on this beautiful day of September the 23rd, 2021, to say hello. And I also want to just take out some time, a few minutes of your time, and to share my thoughts on some current events, things that are going on in this world today, or in this country. Give my opinion on it, and share with you some personal things that I have on my mind, and then also just to share where something with you that I just think is very important for you to hear and understand why I do what I am trying to do. All right, so I'm going to get right into it. One of the first things that I want to talk about is something happened to something that I didn't happen to me, but I was came aware of. About less than a month ago, I took my dog Angel to go get her monthly grooming, and I went to this establishment that I always go to. And when walking in there, I had this young black female that said hello to me. Just customer service was just spot on, and so spoke with her and dropped my dog off. And when I left, she said, "Have a good day." And then when I came back to pick her up, she gave me the greeting again. So when I went up, when I retrieved Angel from the groomers and went to go pay for the service, walked up to the counter, and that same young lady asked me how I was doing, and told her, and then I asked her how was she doing, and she paused for about a few seconds, and then I said, "Is it that bad? You got to think about it." And so she said to me, "Something just happened to me that I never thought I would go through." And so I said, "What was that?" And she said, "I just been called a nigger." And I just froze for a second, and I said, "Who called you that?" And she said that this old white man, called her that. And I said, "Where is he?" And she said that he was gone. And I was just frustrated because I could see the pain and the hurt on her, and I wasn't there to assist and help her. And so then I said, "Okay," I said, "not that it matters, but how did this come about?" And she said that he was trying to use his debit card to purchase something, and his debit card wouldn't go through, and she didn't know if it was the machine or was it his card. And he was getting frustrated, and he said, "That's why I don't like to come to these businesses that have niggers working." That's what was said to her. And she said that, her manager was right there. And so I said, "Well, what did he do?" And she said, "Well, he just stood in front of me because he knew I was getting ready to say something. So he stopped that, and that was it." And so I was just terribly frustrated, and I was hurt and embarrassed that she had to go through this. She said, "Hey, I'm from New York, and I heard about these things, happening down south, and this is in North Carolina where I stay." And she said, "But I just never thought it would happen to me." And I went on to tell her, "Hey, don't let this get you down, and you're a beautiful black woman. You was doing what you're supposed to do." And I tried to give her these encouraging words, but I know the pain was there. She was hurt. She was embarrassed. And I was upset because I was not there to help her. And I told her that, and she said, "Well, I'm glad you wasn't either, because you probably would have got yourself in trouble." And I probably would have, but I would have took that trouble. What I'm saying to you all is this thing is real. Many of our fellow Americans don't believe this, or they will use the excuse that it's just a fraction of those people. Doesn't matter. It shouldn't be a fraction of no one. This is real. And I also would say to the people that look like me and look like her, because there's those of you that's out there, or us that are out there, that don't believe this is real also. that racism is still existing in 2021. We are in troubling times, and I'm very concerned. We're not moving forward. Here we are in 2021, and it's starting to feel like we are in the 60s. People are bold. People are calling us the N-word to our face, especially our females, our black females. Our black females seem like they are just being threatened on a daily basis. You see the videos. If you're on social media, you see these Karens out there, so-called Karens, that are bold, screaming in your face, spitting, lying, calling the cops and lying about things on our black females. These, white racist men are picking and choosing to address our females like this when there's no man around or there's no man with her. This is happening on a daily basis. We have got to figure out how to, not figure out, we got to start dealing with this. Because these fraction of people are very bold. And they don't feel fear at all to be rude, to be disrespectful, to be ignorant towards our black females. And if we, I would say this, if we, and I'm saying we as black men, and if we're not there, we're not there, but some kind of way we're going to have to address this, because if not, it's going to eventually bleed over to us. And there's been some social media postings that this has happened. Right? And I'm not going to get too deep into this, but I just want to share what I experienced. The hurt and pain of one of our young black sisters and what she went through at the hands of an ignorant, older white man. I was going to say gentleman, but he's not a gentleman. In my opinion here, and this is just my opinion only, right? I think we are in some trying times as a country, as a race of people. I mean, black and brown people things are not improving. Right now we still have brown people that are in cages, held up at some point, some place, separated from their children. It's Mexicans, we call them illegal immigrants. Much hasn't changed since this new White House has taken over. They're still being held. We got people in cages. Right? These are troubling times. We got the Haitians that their country is in turmoil. And in my opinion, I believe America has something to do with all of this. But these people are running away from their country to save their lives, fear of their lives, to try to come to our country. And we're putting them on planes and we're sending them back. But the opposite of that, we have sent planes and we're spending our monies and we're putting up housing for Afghanistan people who was their country's in turmoil that we had something to do with, right? We went into to liberate that country and get them from the rule of the Taliban. And as we're leaving out of there, the Taliban takes right back over and takes all the equipment and the firearms and the military equipment and vehicles and all of those things, armor that came from our taxpaying money. They have it in control, so they're in a better position than what they were when we first came in there to move them out of authority. But we're spending money. We have spent millions of dollars to bring these Afghanistan people over. And we're okay with that because they helped us. Helped us to do what? I don't know what we accomplished over there, but they helped us. So they're in fear of their lives. But the Haitians are in fear of their lives, but we're sending them back to what they're afraid of, and we're taking in the Afghanistan people. Now, I don't have an issue with Afghanistan people coming over here if that's what they want to do and be a part of this free country, as they see it. But then if that's going to be the case, we should be doing the same thing from the Haitians. And not having border patrol out on horses with things looks like whips that's deterring them. That's not a good look. Our taxpaying money, though, is going to house them, and they're giving them money to get them set up. At the same time, besides sending Haitians back, we are evicting Americans. Now, help me understand to make sense of all of that. We're sending millions to bring people here to house them that's not even Americans, but we're taking Americans because of this COVID situation and what we went through for the last 18 months or whatsoever, and we're kicking them out because Congress didn't do what they were supposed to do and put in some type of legislative laws, right, to keep them from being evicted. We can't blame this on the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court basically said we're not going to approve anything because Congress did not do what they were supposed to. This was on Congress to do their job. Mind you, it's a Democratic Congress. It's a Democratic Senate, controlled Senate. It's a Democratic controlled White House. That we were told as black people, let's get out and support these Democrats to get the Trump administration and his people, that was in Congress and Senate out of there so we can make things better. I don't get that. Now, that's where I don't agree. You're going to take my taxpayer money, you're going to bring Afghanistans over here, people to help them, but you're not going to help the Americans that are right here, who have probably one time, they may not be paying taxes now, who knows, don't care, they're Americans, but they pay taxes at some given time. They put some money into the system, but we're kicking them out. Mind you, let's take it to another level. Congress had passed and gave out $50 billion to be distributed to all of the states to assist with renters to catch up on their rental fees. Let me say that again. $50 billion. Now, all of the states, and it's about 20 plus of them, so about half of them have not distributed the money. So we evicting people out of their residence, but there was money to help them stay in there, and the states have not distributed the money, but we still kicking them out. I'm not making this up. And I would tell you, go to this site. It is called the National Low Income Housing Coalition. The National Low Income Housing Coalition, and it's www.nlihc. NLIHC. Go to that site, because a lot of my Facebook friends and Virginia, are Virginia and Georgia, and you will be surprised what you would see if you go to that site. And maybe you're not. Maybe you won't be. But I would encourage you to go to the site, because it explains that they have $50 billion. One is probably about $1 billion per state. It doesn't look like, if you're kicking people out, it doesn't look like you spent that money to help people catch up on their rent. But this is what we're doing. How can we as American government, and I know this is not going to fix anything, but I'm just giving you my opinion. But we send billions of dollars to all these other countries. We send billions of dollars to Israel. Their citizens are going to college for free. Their health care is free. Why are we sending billions of dollars to them? Yet we paying for college. Healthcare is not free. That's when we start talking that, then we got certain people want to say, oh, that's socialism. Something is wrong with us. But I encourage you for those of you that may, if you're not in that situation where you're being evicted, or you may have children, or somebody, just share this information. www.nlihc, because it gives you information on how you can, put in applications to get some type of assistance if it's not too late. All right. So, and it shows you the different states, and if they distributed the money, and if they have not distributed the money. But I'm concerned where we are as a country. I'm actually more concerned where we are as a people, as black people. Things don't seem like it's getting better. Seems like things are going the opposite way. I mean, we have not moved the needle at all as far as economics for black people. Even there's no new legislation out there, any laws that are passed to help. We was promised some stuff had to be, this past election, nothing that's came through yet. And I know, some would say, well, Johnny, we're not even in a year, and you're right. But it seems like those, I guess maybe they were promised, but there's others getting help. I mean, now the Afghanistan people, that wasn't on the table. Things just looks very grim. I'm concerned. I have 3 grown kids, young adults, and I'm afraid what I'm going to be leaving them, and what this country is going to look like for them in 10 years. The jobs that usually, that we take and the middle class take, they're being eaten up by robots and machines. We don't do trade jobs. We don't do the trade jobs no more. We're not the mechanics, and we're not the plumbers and the electricians and the construction workers. We don't do that no more. Those things have been eaten up by the Hispanics and the white Americans, Hispanic Americans also. I should say it that way. We have been, I'm going to use the term hoodwinked to believing that let's go off to college and let's get degrees. And we have done a tremendous job in getting our degrees. I mean, we are now we got bachelors and we got masters and doctorates, PhDs. multiple, degrees, certifications. But where has that gotten us as a body of people? Surely some individuals. I mean, this has really elevated our black females. I'll tell you that right now. And I applaud it. If you're on LinkedIn, which is a professional business site, if you're not, I encourage you to do it. You see some interesting posts out there, that you might see some interesting posts from the people that are your CEOs and in executive position, that you might go, wow, didn't realize that's the way they thought. But nevertheless, there you see a lot of our black females are being promoted and put in high places, executive positions, CEOs, becoming generals in the military, doing great things. They have been awarded. Our African American women are they are the most educated out of all races and genders. Our African American females. Now, our African American men, we are not. I think we may be 2 or 3 down, but we're there. But our females are being rewarded, and our males are not, for the most part. So where is that leaving our men? Right? Because we're getting all this education, but we're winding up either working, being underpaid, working for something less, not even in our field of study, not working at all, or we're homeless. Because I say that when I go back to being hoodwinked, because we have thought, well, let me go out and get this education because it's going to elevate me and put me in position to get these high-paying jobs and earn a decent living. And that has not been the case, especially for our African American men. You get all the education you want, you're still going to have to sit before somebody and for them to hire you. Our females are getting hired, and again, I applaud it. I have a daughter. I want her to be elevated based off of her education. She's getting ready to graduate here real soon with her bachelor's, and I'm excited about it. But I'm also concerned about my 2 young men. One who has a master's degree and the other one who's working on his bachelor's. So I'm concerned. And, but my solution, because I don't want to just come on here and give you my concerns and maybe some complaints and not give you a solution. How do we fix this? Because we're going to have to do something here unless we're going to be in some trouble. Because if our black men are not working, then the chances of something negative happening, that we end up being in jail or prison, is the percentages are great. Right? If we're kicking people out of their homes and they can't get decent jobs to earn a living and feed their family, then what we're doing is pushing them to do illegal activities. And I know, some of us will look at that and go, how can they do something like that? Never been in that situation. I pray that you won't. But I'm that person to say, if I was not able to feed myself and my family, and if I got a family, my family first and then myself, I'm not able to do that, and I have exhausted all means to try to do that, chances are I'm going to resort to some type of illegal activity to get it done. What am I going to do? Just let them die? Everybody is not, is comfortable with going out and standing and begging for money and going through the being ridiculed for doing just that. That's embarrassing for some people. I'm pretty sure it's embarrassing for everyone, but everyone is not going to do that. So I'm just saying to you, I'm just concerned. And I say that to say some kind of way not some kind of way, I know how we got away from going to trade school. But we need to start focusing back on going to trade school. We need plumbers. We need electricians. We need mechanics. We need construct. There's money into this. My brothers and sisters, there's money. I have one of my best friend who is, I consider my brother, went to trade school and he's making a comfortable living, doing very well for himself. I received I saw somebody post something about trade school and saying, let's make this just as equal to the kids that go up to a 4-year college, because what we have done, we look down on those that go to these 2-year trade schools as if, that's something down from not going to a 4-year college. I know many people that went to trade school and is making double those that have a bachelor, those that have a master's, and some that have a PhD. I'm just sharing with you. I'm telling you, the jobs are being eaten up that we normally do by machines and robots, and that's not by mistake. There's a reason behind all of that. Everyone is not cut out to go to college. When I first went off to college, I wasn't ready. It took me to come back to college and get my degrees when I was over 50 years old. Because then I had the right mindset. So we push our kids, we want you to go to college, we want you to go to college. And a lot of times they don't finish because they just not ready at that particular time. But maybe trade school, consider that. Because in 10 years from now, again, those jobs are not going to be there that we normally work. In 10 years from now, the Hispanics are going to be the majority race. And I'm not sure where we're going to be in the numbers, whether we're going to be behind them or we're going to be behind the white Americans. But the Hispanics are they are right now setting a footprint of being a force. They're doing those jobs. They're doing those trade jobs. They're doing the mechanics, and they're the electricians, and they're the construction workers. I can ride through neighborhoods and neighborhoods and neighborhoods, and they're working. They're getting business. We got the colleges and the universities full up, but where has that gotten us? Right? We are at a point where we are so divided. And yeah, we can blame this on Trump, but I don't think it started with Trump. I know it didn't start with Trump. It started when we had President Barack Obama come into office, because those that were, that's full of hate, they didn't want to see a black man in office, and Trump jumped on top of that while he was not in office, and he fueled it. And then when he became the president, and it just escalated. And here we are. But I would tell you, and I'm not going to talk more about Trump because I really could care less about him, but the media fused the popularity of Trump. I don't care what media outlets you look at. You look at CNN, because I look at CNN a lot. Every day, if you don't have the CNN app, I encourage you, get the CNN app. Or you can just look at CNN on the news, on TV. Every day they speak Trump's name. They keep him relevant. Go to any station, Fox, CNN, NSBNC, whatever they call, all of them keeps him relevant. There's a reason for him being relevant. There's nothing we can do about it. You know, they'll make you think, oh, he's going to go to court and all these different things. He's going to jail and all. You know, all that stuff. Just nothing. Never. Everybody else goes to prison and jail, but so far he's not. You know, and I don't want to get into it because the politics. You know, you got these other guys out there. You know, this Gates. You know, Congressman Gates. You know, statutory rape. How long does it take for the FBI to investigate that? I mean, it's ridiculous. But there's nothing we can do about it. We can just complain about it. You know, because the people that do look like us that are in position of leadership, that's in the Congress, that's in the Senate, or the legal arena, they're not going to say anything. Right? So I'm just concerned. And I think, you know, but other solutions, and besides, you know, starting to push trade school, I would say, you know, we got to start creating our own jobs. And by doing that, starting our own businesses. And I would tell you, it's not that difficult. I've had my business since 2014, right? And I think it cost me between $150 to $200 to get it started, to be legit with the IRS, the state, and have my license. And for those of you that are entrepreneurs or was an entrepreneur before, you know, I think you will agree, it's not a lot of money to get your business started and to become legit. It's about sustaining it. And that's where we have some problems because, unfortunately, we don't support one another as black people. I remember as a child, this was just stuff that I used to hear, you know, I'm not doing no business with no black person because I can't trust them or they're doing shady work or whatsoever. And that has just came forward to this day. There's many of us out there trying to do good things and trying to bring you good product and trying to bring you good service, and we need your support. But here's what I see that's happening a lot. You know, we'll have somebody that will start a business and they're doing very well, right? And we're supporting them. But then there's this few that's going to say, okay, I think I can do the same thing. So I'm going to start the same type of business in the same city, in the same county. And what do? We compete against each other now. So now our community of people, because we do want to support, for most of us, I think most of us want to support, we split. And then what happens? The businesses don't really grow. They either sit where they are and don't grow, or they fail. Because as you grow, you're creating more jobs, right? You can reach back and hire people, and you're creating opportunity. You're getting better product that you can give to your customers. You're getting better support so you can get better services. And that's not what we do. It's that crab in the bucket mentality that we have that's what's keeping us from moving forward. Support one another, build that business up so that he or she now can hire more people, hire our young people, put them at work so they're not on the street, right? And then when their business get up there, then they can reach back and help others to come up. That's what the other races do. I know for sure that's what the Japanese and the Chinese do. That's what the Jews do. That's what the Hispanics do. That's what white people do. Why can't we do it? Why do we have to worry about and complain about and be jealous of one another? That's that slave mentality that was taught to us. We got to break that. Don't tell me that, okay, well, you know, I don't like that person because of what they did 20, 30 years ago. Let that go. We all have fallen short. But let's go out and build businesses. We can do it. We can't keep waiting for, you know, the government to do this and do that and give us these grants and all these other different things that they do for foreigners when they come in. It's just not happening. It's not happening right now. I'm not sure if it's going to ever happen. But we can't sit around and wait for that. We have to create. If we join together, we come together, we can do these kind of things. Generational wealth. You know, that's something that I got myself involved in. You know, I had a tactical business, and 3.5 years ago I switched it over once I got this information on the, you know, retirement planning and life insurance and safe money investments. Not because I'm trying to make a lot of money. I'm okay. I'm a retired military person with disability. I'm good. This is information that I found out that this has been going on for 20 plus years, but it was only given to, white Americans that were rich. And I got hold of this information 3.5 years ago, and I'm like, I got to do all I can to give it out to people. And it's just like pulling teeth to do that. Just to get people to listen, not charging. I'm not saying, hey, pay me $150 a month or $200 like these financial advisors are doing, and not even giving you everything. I'm doing it for free. And it's like I had to beg people just to listen. This is about building generational wealth. What I try to share is not information that's just I'm making out of the air. I'm giving you the information. You want to study index universal life insurance products. Study annuities, index annuities. Study living benefits. Go Google it. I'm not making up stuff here. But many of us won't even listen. And it's upsetting when you're trying to do something to help your people. You're just trying to give back. And why do we get caught up on, well, you trying to make some money? Aren't we all? I mean, are we jealous because of, you doing it this way and you're not doing a regular 9 to 5? Why is that your concern? Or why is it anybody's concern? As long as you bring in good information and good products. So I don't want to come across like I'm complaining. I just want to say we can do better. We can help one another. If it's something that we're doing that you don't feel is right, then let's help each other and share that information. So I'm going to end it with that and say we have to start supporting one another and working together, and stop waiting and depending and just complaining and waiting for some miracle to happen here that's going to change the economic landscape for us. We all have the same brain. I believe we all have the same brain that white people have, Hispanic people have, Haitians, Mexicans, Russians, I don't care, Jews. We all have the same brain. Then nobody's better than us. But let's start working together. I promise you, if we work together and just listen, we say information is power. But if we won't even listen, where are you gaining your power from? Right? I don't get that. If information is power, where are you gaining your power from? Because wherever you think you gain your power from, where has that done for us as of right now? There's been no legislation passed since Martin Luther King Boulevard for our country, for our people, for black people. There's been some amendments done to the civil right law with President Barack Obama, but that's it. We've been promised there's going to be some stuff coming out with this administration, but nothing yet. So where's the information that's moving us as a people? Now we put all our, trust into those that are in the political arena, the congressmen and the senators that we send, and we put all this trust into them, and we celebrate them. We're happy for them, and that they're going to do great things for us, and then we go into our churches and our church leaders, and they're behind the pulpit, and they're hooping and hollering, and they sharing all this good information. We get filled with the Spirit, and we're happy and whatsoever. But when the doors open back up and we step back out into reality, where are we as a people? Are we truly invested into those of you that's in leadership, and I question that, into moving the needle for our people? Because right now, we're going backwards. So what is all the hooping and hollering doing for us? What is all the celebration for, hey, we got him into the Senate, and we got him into Congress, and we got him into the state, and we got him into the local level? Voting rights are being taken from us right now. Just because we came out in force to get Trump out of the office. And things are going to change. You're going to see this in 2022. They're already predicting it. When they start predicting stuff like this, more likely it's going to happen. That Congress that we now have celebrated as Democratic, and the Senate that's Democratic control, and the White House is a Democrat in it, it's going to change in 2022. And then what? We as black people, for the most part, we throw all our hats in the bucket there for the Democrats. But every time it seems like they're in control of both houses and the White House, we can't seem to get much done. They fighting with each other right now. And there's always, we want to work together with the Republicans to get things done. But when the Republicans take over the office, they don't ask for help for the Democrats. They could care less. And they get things done. Now, I'm not here to get into no political, debate about it, because that's just, not my arena. Because I just think all of them are worthless. I mean, I just think it's all about their individual pockets. But that's our system, and so you have to deal with it. But I'm saying we can't change that. We can sit here and we can complain all we want about all of it, but it's not going to change much of anything. What we can change, let's change. Let's control it. Let's work together. Let's build our own businesses, our own companies. Let's hire people. Don't be concerned about diversity. We're the only group of people that there's some challenge to diversity when we have something that's all black. But when it's all white, when it's all Japanese, when it's all China, when it's all Jews, when it's all whatever race, there's never a complaint about that. But when we do things, it's either a complaint or we start worrying about it ourselves. We will even say, well, that's an all black company or all black organization or all black group. I'm not going to be a part of it. And you are black. You are afraid to be a part of your own group of people because you concerned and worried about what others will think. It makes no sense to me. And if it does make sense to you, then explain it to me. We can't be afraid. Afraid is not going to get you anywhere. I don't come before you to try to act like I'm bad and I'm out here just going to looking to get in people's face. I'm not trying to do that. That's not what I'm trying to push here. I'm saying let's support one another. Let's get behind one another. If she's got a bakery, let's get behind that bakery. If she's an author and she's selling books, let's get behind that. If somebody's trying to give you some retirement plans and life insurance plans to keep you so you don't have to do GoFundMe, this young brother that was in the movie Friday, AJ Johnson, who was in the movie Friday with Ice Cube, he just died the other day. Do you know his wife? Let me put it this way. His wife just put out a GoFundMe to help bury him, to do a funeral, because he had no life insurance set up. He has no life insurance set up. So look at what his wife is going through. And she's putting out stuff out there, says she can't believe, no people is not, supporting him. And I thought you loved him. She's going through. She can't even right now totally concentrate on just going through the bereavement of losing her husband. She's trying to find money to bury him. People, take this thing serious. Don't just come with this, I got this on my job and I'm good to go. No, you're not good to go. That job can let you go tomorrow, and then what? Are you going to be covered with COVID? People are dying left and right from COVID. Are you covered under the health insurance that you have? When you pass away, is it going to create generational wealth for your people, for your family? There's 7% insurance agent, and I'm going to shut this down right now. There's 7% that's African Americans that's in the insurance industry. 7%. I went to a 600 plus event when I first came into this. It had 600 plus people there, and there was only 12 black people. 600 plus insurance agents, and there were only 12 black people. So those of us that's in it, we're trying. I can only speak for myself. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to share you information to set you up. We have a retirement plan, and that you can work on creating generational wealth, and you can be covered health wise. I'm not trying to make money off of you. Just listen. Or if you listen, you will understand that. Don't. I'm just not going to return the email. I'm not going to return the text. I'm not going to return the phone call. But yet, when you pass away, your wife or your husband is out there trying to go through GoFundMe to bury you because you just wouldn't take our time to listen. All I'm saying is listen to one another. We can do better. All right? Thank you for your time. Again, this is only my opinion, my thoughts, and I welcome your thoughts on, through the comment section. If you want to do it publicly like that on Facebook, or you want to direct message me, and let's have that conversation. I'm open to working with people that's for the betterment of our people. Right? If you got scholarships out there, let's team up and let's see what we can do to help get your scholarships going. Right? Whatever it is, I want us to work together. Because if we work together, there's no limit to what we can accomplish. But to sit around and complain and just wait for somebody to give something to us that we probably rightfully deserve, but doesn't look like that's just going to happen, then we're not going to accomplish anything. I do believe in entrepreneurship. I do believe in trade school. And I do believe in supporting one another. And I think if we do all of that, we can start this thing moving forward. Okay? So thank you for your time. I hope to hear back from you. If I don't, I love you. I'm fighting all I can on my end and do what I can. I'm trying to leave a legacy that we can build upon. All right? Be careful out there. Wear your mask. Let's take care of each other. Let's protect our kids. We have an opportunity. We can put things in place for our children. We can set them up for life insurance. We can set them up for a retirement plan. So when they get to the age of 55 and 60 years old, they set for life. I would love to share that information with you. And if you don't want to listen to me, at least go talk to somebody about setting your children up. Let's leave them a better America than what we are going through right now. All right? Take care of yourself. God bless you. And I look forward to talking to you sometime soon. Take care.